Michael Goulian, Red Bull Air Race champion, National Aerobatic champion, Airshow performer. What are you doing?
Well, I think I've done a lot of low and fast.
Yeah.
So I thought today would be a great time to really learn to fly low and slow. And if you watch YouTube, you watch Instagram, you look at TikTok, everybody is having fun with all of these Super Cubs off of grass fields and doing all kinds of stuff in the backcountry. And I thought, it looks like a lot of fun. It's something that I have not had a lot of exposure to.
Yeah.
So we came out to sort of one of the capitals of the United States to do this, to Bentonville, Arkansas.
Yeah, it is. And I like the way you approached it. Like, you decided you want to go do this stuff and see what all the buzz is about, right? And the first sort of thing you did was to reach out and say, all right, I want to start with people who know what they're doing, which I think is such a powerful message.
Well, in anything in aviation, and we've had this conversation, right? So there's experience and there's relative experience. I have a lot of experience. I even have a lot of tailwheel experience, but my relative experience in this type of an environment is really slim to none. So we really have, a bunch of experts here in Bentonville, yourself who's done a lot of this, and I figure why not learn from the best? So Steve Johnson is here, and Chip Gibbons is here, and Mark Baker's here, and all of you guys have all this amazing experience flying, and I just wanted to come here and suck some of it up and learn from the best.
I just thought that was so impressive that a guy with your background said, wait a second, I'm not just going to jump into this. I'm going to sort of walk my way into it and go talk to some people. And I think the difference is, like, when I did the same thing, I was where you were maybe 3 years ago, right? And I said, this looks like so much fun. I bought a Super Cub, and I can land a Super Cub fine, but I couldn't fly it like those guys were doing in the backcountry. Right. So I went back and got some guys and said, show me around the backcountry and show me how to really fly this thing.
Yeah, and I'm exactly in the same place, right? So of course I can fly it and take off and land and do all of that stuff and try to do it short-ish at my home airport or on a grass strip, but it's different when you're talking about intricate approaches and landings, short runways, runways with inclines, all of those kinds of things, and then understanding, more importantly, how to do that safely.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
Hopefully what happens out there stays out there, right? And
no chance of that. There's cameras all over
I
these
know
airplanes.
That's the problem, right? Well, I think about it. I always have my left hand on the throttle, and you just have to go around. There's no pride, right? You just have to be able to swallow your pride. If it's not working right, like, hey, I'm out of here, go around. Even if the rest of you have landed on the runway, I'm like, hey, I'm just going to stay up here and think about it a bit, and maybe I'll let you take back off and I'll get back in, or like just let me give it another try with a little bit more practice. And it's really, for me, in everything with aviation, it's sort of like, it's baby steps. I don't start at the top and work my way back. I start at the bottom and work my way up. Yeah. And that's sort of my approach to this here.
Yeah. I've had this conversation with people a lot. They say, how do I stretch my capability without getting out of my comfort zone? And I usually tell them, you can't, you have to, but you do it in a way where you have the ability to retreat back. So, like we're going to go out to some strips that can be pretty demanding, but they're all go-around strips. Yeah. There's no must-land strips, like we'll eventually get to in Idaho and Montana. So we're kind of stretching ourselves, but we have the ability to peel back to where our comfort level is.
Yeah, right? In the air show business, the same thing. You always have to have an out. You always have to have a plan B. And that's what we're going to have here. You can always go around. Yeah. It's never life or death. And again, the whole idea of a stabilized approach and having the airplane under control, not too fast, at the right altitude, having scoped out the landing environment, and make a nice, good landing on a grass strip will be super fun to do. Yeah. People often ask me, what are you most proud of in your career? I'm not proud of the things that I did that were great. I was proud and am most proud of the decisions I made that I stayed on the ground. Yeah. Because those are always the hardest decisions to make, right? Yeah. And so, and never ever kick myself after I made the decision. If I made the decision and it was the wrong decision, I'm like, hey, I'm still here to fly tomorrow. That's okay.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me
Thanks
too.
for bringing me along.
Good stuff.